It's raining, so you might hear that in the background. And first things first, it's my mom's birthday. I ended up buying her a gift, and tomorrow we're gonna have a celebration of her birthday, but like the birthday people from March, and that's going to be that. But second thing, which might be the most relevant right now, is that I'm sick. I've been sick all day, and I literally just puked. I had my little bucket here with me, and so when I moved here, I was laying down. I had the blinds, shut because I also have this very bad headache here, around my right eye, and I think this is the bucket. So I puked, went to the bathroom, threw it, flushed it, and now I'm feeling better. But what's been happening the whole day is that I puke or I defecate, and then I get a little bit better, and then like half an hour later I'm sick again. So basically I'm trying to say this is not going to be a long video because I'll probably feel the need or the urge to lay down at some point, because basically what I have is so like I have this very sick feeling that I get, and then you can kind of like go both ways. So like if I don't really do anything, I can either faint or I can puke. Puking is still easier to control, so ready for that. Also, before I kind of like dig deeper into like my physical situation right now, I want to just like show you my shorts. So this is it's another short that was it's a pajama set, and it was my dad's. So you might be wondering why is a 62-year-old man have Naruto pajamas, and maybe he just liked it. So if that's super valid. But in my case, in this case specifically, is that a few years back he needed pajamas, and then he asked me to kind of like look around next time I went to the mall, and then I did, and I found that oh, it's starting to rain in this direction, and this one was like 20 or 30 bucks cheaper than like regular old man pajamas. So I ended up getting this one for him. I used it, but right now, many years later, he's kind of like parting ways. But yeah, also I have some tea. My mom very kindly made me some tea, shout out to her, and it's pretty hot, so we kind of like leaving it here so it can cool down a little bit, so I can drink, because basically I haven't eaten much today, because this whole thing, it all started with yesterday when I went to bed. I was totally fine, like there's nothing really in the way. I was just living my best life, and then this morning I woke up around 6 a.m. and ended up going to the bathroom, and I puked and I defecated. It was very liquid but very diarrhea adjacent, and that's pretty much how it's been the rest of this day. I didn't puke like as much as I did since. I think I puked 3 or 4 times today, and like the first one that was a little bit less, it was wall food. It was almost like hard to kind of like get out of my throat, and then the other ones, they just came up much more easily, much easier. Is that how it is? But anyways, so I have my bucket here by my bed so I can lay down. And as I said, like I was trying not to, I'm looking at my phone right now, but I've been the whole day avoiding looking at my phone because as I said, I have this headache, which I do think it might have something to do with pressure, because I feel like the worse I get, like the stronger the pressure, the pain is. So like there's probably something pressing here, because then I puke, and then it's like there's this relief. So I don't really know exactly what's happening, but I made this connection. But yeah, so 6 a.m. I puke and I evacuate, and I ended up going back to bed, and I sleep for 2 more hours, and then I wake up and tell my parents that I was sick, that I puked, and that I evacuated. And but like I'm doing pretty okay, guys, because I have the cell group, like this meeting I have every Saturday. I go from like this church. I was invited by a church invited by a friend from a church that used to be my church, my parents' church, and then she moved. She started going to like that. Okay, it is raining very heavily right now. Okay, I have to kind of like close this. So yeah, this is not the ideal setup, but it is good enough. So I'm just trying. It's pure tea, tea. Like there's no sugar, there's no nothing. It's just like the hot water and herbs. So that's pretty much what I'm having right now, and I think it's not super good. Yeah, but as I said, so like I was feeling mostly okay, and then, so I went to this meeting, and then after the meeting, there were some things I wanted to do. For example, I wanted to go to the Central Market, which is, across there's this big plaza in between, this round, plaza, and then, the other end is the Central Market, which is from 1929, so it's going to be 100 years old in a few years, so that is exciting. I wonder what they're gonna do when we get to that point. But I went there. I've been looking for this different. There's a lot of things you can buy there, and something that I'm gonna leave my feet here. It's raining, but I think the rain is gonna help cool it down. But I kind of go there, they have all sorts of things, but I've been mostly looking for different, things that I can take in terms of to help my weight loss journey. And this might have been the problem. I haven't even gotten to the solution yet, but I can put a pin in that. Because that's something. So I found this, pill powder that you can mix when you're making, some type of smoothie or a vitamin or something like that. And I will be, this time around, I only got 100 grams because the past couple of times that I've been kind of going there, I ended up getting, considerably more, mostly because, because I usually get 200, 200 grams, and but that's in my head what we usually get. But then it's usually when I have the package, I'm like, oh yeah, this is more than usually what my mom likes. But this one I only got 100 grams, so we're gonna mix it, with vitamins, and hopefully it's not going to harm me in any way. Because what did I eat that could be different? Do I have food poisoning? What is this? Right now I'm leaning towards food poisoning. That seems to be the thing, the best way to describe it. Although to be fair, there are some things there in contention. So what did I eat that was different? Yesterday was the first day I went to the cafeteria from my university I'm in right now, which I think I can call it my university, right? Because I've been there for 2 weeks, but that's enough for me to feel very much that this is my place and these are my people and all that. But basically, I had, so I went there and I had lunch. I had, dinner for the first time, and the food was not particularly out there. So I did have questions of is this exactly that? And I was wondering, do they have any mushrooms in any capacity in anything? Because this is how I feel. Usually my body responds to when I have mushrooms. There is, this physical, I'm mushroom tolerant. But it's kind of interesting because, I'm also lactose intolerant, but, my lactose intolerance usually doesn't lead to vomit. There is at most, some diarrhea, some light diarrhea. Also, of course, I don't consume as much, fruit as, I did. And usually when I do, I try to use products that, are lactose free, something like that. But, basically, what I am trying to say here is that I have been, trying to, scavenging over, in my head, trying to figure out, what we settled on is that this might be the outcome of, because I'm doing all these different things regarding my weight loss, so I'm taking Wegovy, I take one shot of 0.25 milligrams every week. I think it's Tuesday and Tuesday. I have, the manipulated medications. They're not really medications, they're natural, but still they have impact that my endocrinologist gave me. So I have one that I take at 10 a.m., one that I take at 4 p.m., and I have one that I take before, lunch and dinner. So that could be the case, that could be different. So I'm taking that. And I am also taking glucagon, I think it's what it's called, this little powder that I'm mixing some water every morning and I to drink it. And also I have this Monjari flour, it's not really Monjari, but it does have that effect, which I've been drinking, 20 to 30 minutes before I have my meals. So I've been doing a lot of things, and now I just bought this powder. So that is something else to add to my list. We're so my mom's friend that was here helping her, oh my god, I cannot see ahead of me. Pretty crazy, this rain. But it is March, so March is rainy season, I guess. Also yesterday it's officially fall. Yesterday, turned, switch seasons. But what I was saying is that this friend of my mom, she thinks that, like me mixing all these different things is probably what my head led to that, because the food alone, as I said, it's like the type of food that like nutritionists they kind of like go over, or maybe there was too much fat, too much, something. So I think it's probably everything. And so right now, I will kind of like suspend using my endocrinologist medication for a little while, and then focus on daily coffee. And because something else that we kind of like were thinking is that I didn't clear, so because I don't know if my current psychiatrist, if she knows like that I'm taking this medication from my endocrinologist. Because whenever I start taking it, I bring it to my endocrinologist, to my psychiatrist. But I started taking it last year, so there's basically like this disconnect. So I'm gonna bring this up later. Oh yeah, I also have to send her a message, kind of like have like a prescription for lithium specifically. I take a lot of medications, but like lithium is like it's the poster child of well-being as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, so I woke up, around like 8 something. I think that's probably like around like 9. And I was really okay. I told my parents what happened, and then I just went, to the meeting. And then I went, and I started to feel kind of like a little something as I was walking, the distance between, like the church and, the Central Market. And I went there, I went around, I found this flower, and I didn't really drink anything or consume anything, which is usually what I like to do. I go there, I see, some flowers and I try things. But I was feeling very much, I wasn't feeling hungry. Oh yeah, before I left, I ate half a banana. It was a rather long banana, to be honest. But yeah, I had half a banana because I wasn't really feeling, hunger or anything. And there's a lot of water slipping through here, and I don't want to get my phone wet. I think I'm gonna hold my phone. I think this is going to be the best case. But so yeah, so like basically I won't be able to be here much longer because I can only host for this for so long, and also because, as I said, like I haven't really gotten into the symptoms. But basically, so I had a banana. I went, to the meeting. Then I went to Central Market. I didn't get anything to eat or drink because, as I said, I was starting to feel a little sick. Maybe not sick, but like you feel a certain way after. Like you've been sick. So I was feeling like that post effect or something. And then I went to, a mall that we had nearby because there were a few things that I needed to get. I got my mom, a birthday gift. I got a gift for, this friend of mine, her birthday is on the 25th. It is the 21st, today. So I got her a little something. I got, there was chocolate on sale because, Easter is coming. And usually like chocolates, they get, the price really rises. And, but there are some exceptions. So basically, I've been doing this thing where I'm like looking closely at like the changes. So I found some chocolates. I found flip-flops, which I'm not actively looking for, but I do keep an eye on them. So whenever they're cheap, for me to get them, because flip-flops are important. I kind of like, it's pretty much what I wear inside the house, and I don't like paying full price. I don't feel worth it. So there's that. But besides that, so I went there and I was already kind of like feeling sick. Oh yeah, I also went to the grocery shop by the mall, and I found some things with good prices. I found coffee, which has been very expensive lately. I found because Easter is coming, so there is this thing which is kind of like a panettone, but it is a little different. Oh my god, it's wet here. Let me get my teapot. Oh shit.